It's your boy, JS1 Tha Supplier, VVCRadio.com. We back in the building, one-on-one conversation, Aries Lounge. Yo, it's a blessed and wonderful day when I can have legends in the building. You know what I'm saying? Like, yo, I said in another interview, yo, there are certain people that are dot connectors. They connect the dots. You know, some people are creatives, some people are business people, some people connect the dots. This gentleman, Ogun, right here, it's kind of a little bit of all of them, bro. You're an artist, you're a creative, you're a businessman, you connect the dots, you're a fan. Yo, and on the low, you were kind of a historian. Well, maybe because you just so old that you was around for everything. Yo, for real. So, what was it like growing up with Jesus Christ? No, I'm just messing with you. Yo, I've known this dude a long time. He has done so much in the game. Yo, I've been a quiet admirer and somebody that has just been in awe of all of the tremendous things that he's been able to do in his lifetime. And I'm so happy that you've been able to make time for us there. Thank you. I appreciate that. I'm looking
forward to it.
Let's get to the hell, bro. Where were you born?
I was born on Huffman Street, down the hill. I think I lived there till I was like 5 or something.
Damn. Down the hill.
And then I remember when we moved out pretty much where I live at now, like kind of like Bel Air and Frankfurt.
Word.
And I just remember it being so different.
In what way?
And it made me feel like, you know, like when you go to like North Carolina or something. Mm-hmm. It made me feel like, yo, this just feels different.
You just went to another part of Baltimore. That wasn't even far away.
But down the hill. And,
but what was the energy? What made them so different?
I don't know. Like, you know how I feel when you on, this is a bad comparison, but you know how it feel on Pennsylvania Avenue? That's
a fact, yes.
Right. It doesn't feel like Pennsylvania Avenue where we are today, like where we're doing an interview at. So
correct.
You know how you can feel the difference?
Of course.
So I'm just saying, like, the vibe
right.
is night and day.
It's so
and
much.
I remember feeling that way, like, when I go down grandma's house, I feel like this. Mm. When I come home, it just felt weird growing up and seeing that change. But that's what I was born on Huffman Street for real.
Damn. You know? Okay, so what music was being played in the house before you could touch the radio?
I would say like Stevie Wonder, definitely all the Jackson 5 stuff.
Okay, so your family was definitely into jamming. They was into party music.
Oh, they was. I mean, they was playing. I mean, your typical like Whitney Houston. All the classical, like just making the vibe in the house just feel amazing.
Word, okay.
But you still don't know who it is because you're young.
Word, was you now? Were you like into performing? Like, oh, I'm gonna perform this Jackson 5, or I'm just gonna tap my feet and chill out on it, or I'm just gonna dance? Like,
yeah, I was never a dancer. But I would act as if I was this certain artist and thing like this. So I always was a good performer per se.
Word.
But my cousin could dance. I couldn't dance at all. He lived with us for years.
That's being honest.
Man.
So, did you like to do? Were you the type of person that wanted to entertain a family? Family come over, you want to be the center of attention, or was you kind of like, all right, I mind my own business, stay in the cut?
Yeah, I would have to say when the time called for it, I wanted to be the center of attention.
Open to both. Okay.
Right, but I'll fall back easy because I'm really my whole approach is really just to watch stuff. So I really want to kind of play the back and just kind of watch things go on. But when the time is appropriate, I definitely was that kid that wanted all the attention and jumping around, doing stupid stuff for no reason. You know what I mean?
Any brothers, sisters, family? Like, yo, you just the only child, or?
I have a little sister.
Okay. I get it. Now I get it. So once you were able to start messing with the radio or start accumulating music, what was the first things that you gravitated towards that you were like, yo, I'm going to invest my money into this. I'm going to cop this.
It's kind of blurry, but my cousin used to have a lot of stuff that I didn't have access to, so he'll kind of put me on the stuff.
Word.
So Eric
vinyl,
B,
or was it tapes?
It was tapes.
Okay, cool.
Right, it was tapes for sure. So definitely Eric B. Definitely, obviously, Run DMC. I mean, just the old school classics.
Okay.
I think one of the first things that I might have purchased though was probably It's probably like some Kid and Play or something corny.
There you go. Be honest.
You know what I mean?
Be honest. That's what I'm saying. I appreciate that.
Right.
Most of the time, they come here fronting. You know what I mean?
Oh, no, not at all.
Yo, I had to get the NWA
Right,
and the
right.
Public Enemy.
Right.
Like,
we had all of those though. But I'm just saying.
Not
Like,
act like MC Hammer wasn't that shit at the
Exactly.
time period, and
Right.
Kid and Play wasn't that jump off. Like,
I remember wanting Crisscross joint. I remember my first time I heard that on the radio, still young.
yeah,
Like, yo, that's hard.
Yo, that joint is crazy. Now my thing is the second album was the bunk. That's because they started growing up a little bit,
Yeah.
and the records was more kind of like player and less kind of kiddish. But yo, yeah, I'm
Right.
huge Crisscross fan. You got me, bro. You got
I
me.
never said I was a fan, but
Front ass niggas. It's always be fronting. All right, so my next question is like, when did you go from being just a person that enjoyed the music and a spectator to like, all right, I want to try to start writing or I want to start rapping, like getting into it.
getting into it. I was kind of late because we used to rap around the way, 12, 15 years old, banging on the car, but we not really
Doing nothing.
saying nothing. You know what I mean? Like we're not taking it serious. We just having fun knocking on somebody's car. But when I went to high school, I met some people and they wanted to do music. So even before that, I was kind of like messing around, but it still wasn't that serious.
Right.
But we put together a group called The Circle. It was me, this dude named Gabe, Ronald was the beat maker, and then it was this white boy named Jason. And he drove. I think he was driving in the 9th grade.
Oh, he was lit.
Bruh. And it was like a nice truck, a nice SUV. And then his pops just let's come over to the crib. So yo had like his own section of the house.
Wow.
So you already know what was going on, right?
It was going
But yeah, we was
down.
locking in though. We was making our songs phony as I don't know what. I couldn't rap. I used to sound like in the beginning I used to sound just like what's the dude from oh my God. Buckshot.
Yo, duck down. Okay. Actually, I like that. I like his flow.
Yeah, I loved it.
I'm not lying to you. I'm a Buckshot fan. I bang with
Buckshot
Buckshot.
was this.
I bang with Buckshot. For real. I got an interview with him from way back. So anyway, all right, continuing. So you start writing your own stuff. What was the content like? All right, so what are you writing about? So is it like, don't tell me you was lying, like, yo, you gangster.
No, I never did that.
Selling the crack. It wasn't whack. Hit you in the back.
Back then, I guess it was just more like vibe, like trying to capture a vibe. So like I said, I really was listening to a lot of Black Moon.
Got you.
So that was just more vibe, like
Got you.
chilling, like you're not
Smoking
really
blunts and
weed,
right. Chicks.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And that was the vibe. And then I always was able to kind of like get loud per se. So then I had a lot of those type songs of just like aggressive rap.
Loud like you the Busta Rhymes of the group.
Yeah.
Overly animated.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying wild stuff. Okay, I got
Right.
you. Makes sense.
Right.
Definitely makes sense.
So then from there, I was already in this program called the Baltimore Rites of Passage program. I don't even think I had a rap name when I was in Circle.
Wait a minute. What's the Baltimore Rites of Passage program? Never heard of it.
All right. So it's a national program that's like a mentorship program.
Mm-hmm.
I'm sorry about that. And it's African Senate. So they mentor youth. So we had elders that will come in and just kind of pretty much try to get it straight. But it was all, we in there drumming, we doing martial arts. So through that, I met individuals that were in the same program. And then we started a group called Rites of Passage. And that's when it started getting serious. Because they was nice.
So
they was nice.
They put the pressure on you. I mean, not
they
wasn't pressuring you, but you put the pressure on yourself.
They put the pressure on me.
Oh, for real?
I used to be nervous. I knew I wasn't good enough. Like real talk, I knew it. I knew it. Like, but they got me there. Like they was writing. I was like, what?
Oh, they was writing your bars for you.
No, not at all. I'm saying what the things that they were writing. I was just impressed. Like, okay, I like.
Be honest, so Boone, you had some ghostwriters, yo. It's all
not
good.
At all. But then once I got it, it was a rap, and then I was the Busta Rhymes of the group.
Okay.
But at first, I'm really playing the back.
When you're in this time period, because in that time period, studios weren't everywhere prevalent like they are now. Like, so what was the creative process like? Because I'm assuming, like, my situation was when I was young, we had to really have the whole song completed before we stepped in. Was that the kind of same way y'all went about it? Where y'all would get together, y'all kind of write as a group, listening to the tape over and over again and kind of work out the routine?
Yeah, correct. So we got together, like, we was on some militant. Like the whole vibe was like pro-black everything. I don't eat pork. You know what I mean? So we're getting together, ciphering up to build. We got to build on Sundays. We're gonna meet on one every other Wednesday. Like, it was like an organized thing. So our writing sessions would probably go on for like 5-6 hours. And too much weed, man. I'm talking about this too much, bro.
You needed inspiration, bro.
But you know how, like, it's just like it just don't stop. Like,
right.
Come on, that's too much.
Right.
We need to relax. But yeah, those sessions were insane. And like the freestyle sessions were insane. And then, like you said, we had to kind of wait it out because studios weren't like available like that. So you might have had a plug and you got to wait for them to get back to you. So I remember that we played that game for a few years, just jumping around. Launchpad was one of the like a big studio that
we used to record at Launchpad.
We actually recorded our single there, and it came out on tape, and it like we was yeah, that was it.
So where y'all get the money? Y'all have money. You putting out tapes,
man, you gotta think, like, the core of us was maybe 5 individuals,
right?
But it's an organization. So we got all the other the younger dudes,
right?
We got
the older guys,
groups,
right.
They coming through too.
Wow.
So we before we go, when we meet, we'll go to the market. Everybody put up $20. And we look like, yo, if we put that same $20 to blah, 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 we was in that, like, if we put that every week, we'll have enough to get some land. Once we get the land, we was those dudes.
So did you get the land?
We ain't never get the land, bro.
Y'all conceptualized a good plan.
I mean? We had all the plans, bro. I love all them people to this day. Like, we are family. We are family. Like, we was a major force. Yo.
I think y'all need to go back and reinitiate that plan now that y'all grown now. Y'all need to put $20 in. Bro. And keep putting 20 until y'all can get some land.
That collective economics is
right.
a real thing.
Then y'all can go and start planting weed on that land. they got a certain amount of permits for black weed dealers, and y'all go ahead and get into the business, and y'all can really about to rise and
bro.
evolve.
So when we got those tapes, like, it was official now.
Okay,
you know what I mean, we had a side A, side B. We had the single. We had the album vibe. It was just a beautiful day, so we were so excited. And then I met Mike Mack, and that's when everything changed. It kind of changed for the best and the worst. But
so that's 2 big moments for real. But before we even get into Mike Mack, how many songs were on the tape?
It was only 2.
Just the 2.
Right.
All right, and then how much were you selling the tapes for?
I know I was selling mine for $7 because that's God's number. I was that guy.
Ladies and gentlemen, I want y'all to understand.
I had dreads.
2 songs, $7.
Yo.
2 songs.
But why is it 7?
Yo, because it's it's God's number. All right, whatever.
And that's how I was selling.
$3.50 per song.
It should have been $3. It should have been sold for $3. Yeah. Maybe $5.
Yeah. But
now I'm selling it for $7. Why?
Because it's God's.
Because that's God's.
And people are like, so why should I give you more money? Because God said so.
Had my dreads, my chew stick.
Oh man,
different dude.
Had you some sage in your pocket?
Feels like a whole nother lifetime, bro.
Why? Because you grown now.
I was wearing oil. I ain't wear cologne. You wear oil. I had a lot of it.
I ain't gonna lie, yo. Ain't nothing like one of them earthy chicks. And one of them earthy chicks would come with the dashiki on and the. You know what I mean? Because they don't never wear no bra. They don't never have no drawers. It's just all right, we ain't gonna get on that. We gonna move on. So anyway, so you out here hustling tapes. Would you try to sell? You pulled up on Mike Mack and told him that it was God's number. He need to give you the $7 for the tape.
No, not at all.
So how did you end up meeting him?
it was just spare the moment. We're looking for a studio.
Okay, all
And
right.
somebody mentioned like, yeah, man, I know this guy. He pretty low key, but it's in his basement. But I'm telling you, like, he know what he doing.
That's a fact.
So I'm playing the phone tag game, and then he finally let me come through. And one thing I'm very good at is seeing the future. So we have our general conversation as far as what he's about, what he do, da, da, da. And I'm just looking like, yo, I'm about to be in here a lot. So I'm like, yo, I'm letting you know this, bro. Like, you don't know me, but me and you, we gonna deal with each other for a long time. This ain't gonna be no. I know a lot of people might say this, but this ain't gonna be no one off. Me and you gonna deal with each other. He was like, yeah, I hear ya. He probably was he tried to put his accent on and shit. Like, you know what I mean? Like, he is like, he's Jamaican, but it's like he put a little bit more on
Right,
there,
right.
Whatever originated. You know, he talk like that. But no, I told you, and I'm telling you, bro, like it started from there. And if anyone knows, like, that's my guy.
Right.
Like, that is one of my mentors for real. That's my brother. But he has put me in all types of situations that to better myself. You know what I mean?
Right,
Beyond
right.
the music. But off of that is how the studio got popping. Because first it was just soul on the low key. But now I'm bringing in all the people that I know were in the same position as myself.
Word.
You know what I mean? I remember the first time I brought Scar there, we did a song, and he named it Kev and His Boy. Like, that was the name of the song. But it was really Scar. He ain't understand that. That's Scar Akbar. You should probably save his name right. But yeah, like, that was a good transition when it came to really making music. And then the curse of it is that the studio was very close to my house. The group we were still working, but it was kind of taking the transition of me kind of.
You spending more time with Mike Mack and not spending enough with them.
I'm doing my solo stuff now.
Right.
I was that guy, right?
Oh, did God want you to go solo, bro?
But yeah, that was the transition. So I think we did a few other things. We probably did one more major thing, and then from there, I was like, yeah, yo, I'm definitely about to start making a solo project.
Damn.
And ain't nobody have a problem with it. But it was like I was kind of one of the main influences as far as keeping the music thing going, per se. So it got a little weird. But
you was Joe Buttons, yo. You broke up Slaughterhouse, yo. That's crazy.
I didn't break up anything. We're friends since then. But no, I mean, everything happens for a reason, right?
Right. So all right. So in this space, as you're growing, because you're getting older, you getting more confidence in your skills and your abilities. Like how do you start imagining Ogun as an artist? Like, what at the time? Like, are you thinking, yo, I'm about to be a huge celebrity? Were you just like, yo, I want to just affect the people around me? Like, what was like the Ogun path?
So
you good? Go ahead.
You want?
Nope. Continue.
Now you have to edit it.
It's all good.
I'm fucking with you. I mean, do you want to repeat that question? Because I'm kind of...
Okay, so the question was, and still is, what was Ogun's path? Like, how did you envision Ogun being, even from the physical appearance, almost to where you wanted to see him go? Where did you want the end result to be? Like, mega stardom? Like, oh, I want to be like Jay-Z? Or was it like, oh, I want to be like, African Bombada? Like...
Right. So, I mean, that was the transition in itself. So, I got the name Ogun from an African naming ceremony at the Baltimore Rites of Passage program. For that, I didn't have a name. And when they gave me the name, they gave me the full name of Ogun Lade. And it's long story short, Ogun is a real spirit that people worship in Africa. It's a Yoruba spirit. The spirit of war, the spirit of Arn. He's a dude that cuts down the pathway to other people's understanding. So I'm balancing that the whole time. So I think the main attribute that I picked up is I'm not gonna lie on my raps at all. And then being that connector of other people. So I'm always trying to bring
people together.
Word. And I'm always trying to help somebody. Oh, what you trying to work on? I know how to get you there. I'm gonna get you there a little faster this way.
Gotcha.
Right? So that was the real beyond the music vibe. But as far as on the music vibe, I just wanted to be respected. I wanted my pen game to continue to get better because I remember not being good. Then I remember, like, my first CD, it's cool. It's not bad at all, but it's cool. But then I remember when I was good. And then I knew it, and I was like, yo, now I'm going to get better.
Word.
If somebody listens to my last CD, Sincerely Yours, my pen game on that is very, very solid, bro. And that's why I probably would never make another CD because I know.
You feel like you can't surpass that,
bro. Have you ever listened to it?
I would no.
Thank you for being honest. Because I'm telling you, sir, like it doesn't make sense to kind of try to come off of that. Now, if I did, then obviously I would do the best to outshine that project. But I just say that to say that's been my goal, to kind of be a writer where it might not be a party song, it might not be a street song, but it's a damn good song. Like, that was my main thing. Also, I wanted to learn the game by being in it. Because I really always knew that I don't like being on camera. So I'm like, you're not really trying to go. But at the same time, it's like I'm learning the thing, and then I'm surrounding myself with people under me, right? So that can be the transition when it needs to be.
Right.
So I've always just tried to think about long term versus I'm about to get on. Like, so, I've never done a music video.
Because you don't like being on camera.
Right.
That's weird.
It's very weird.
The next thing is stage performance. Did you enjoy the stage performance? The act of being so you all right, so you don't mind being people seeing you.
Bruh, I used to go crazy.
So, but why not?
I don't know.
That's, do you know? I mean, you know it's weird, but I'm like, I find it to be right. Like, for somebody to enjoy the energy from a crowd, but not like the ability for other people to see you outside of that room. I think that's interesting. I might have to think about that. Never thought about that. All right, so the next thing is you start working on albums. You're building with Mike McIntosh. What is happening in the world around you? As you start shedding that one group. Not saying that you let them go and y'all stop being friends, but obviously you start moving into a new world with different artists. Because if you're hanging out with Mike Mack, an architect, you getting artists of all types.
Right.
At this point, street guys and other conscious people. So how is that molding and shaping your perception of the world? And what do you start? Starts becoming the thing that you start doing more, especially since you love to connect dots for people.
So the main thing is my subject matter. So before Mike Mack, it was all revolution, principles, Hotep, Ashe, Poor Libation, right? That was pretty much all I would rap about. And then I would maybe throw in every now and then, I ain't no punk. And if you think I am, you know what I mean? So I had to put a little edge on it. But that was the core of it. After Mike Mack, like I'm starting to use this. I'm starting to still keep the same foundation, but now I'm making it slick. Prior, I wasn't trying to be slick. I was trying to really like preach. Actually.
Right.
It felt preachy.
Right.
And then my transition was, now he don't sound like he preaching no more, and he's making it slick. And then from there, I just kind of just started developing, you know what, concepts. If I write about something, I can just make that slick. So that I was always real good with writing concepts. In that same time frame, I started meeting everybody in the scene, and I used to invite people to my crib. For the most part, Mike upgraded his equipment and gave me his old equipment, and I was inviting people to my crib. We was doing these mixtapes called Movement, and it was everybody, bro. In hindsight, I'm inviting these people to my crib,
right? Which
is just weird,
right?
But they were real dope. Comp, the first time he recorded ever in life was at my crib, and he was hiding his hand. So when he left, I was like, yo, was he hiding his hand? And nobody picked up. I was like, yo, I swear, yo, was hiding his hand. You know what I mean? So this back then, but we got real close off of that. And his rap was real dope. Like, it was real good.
And he was young. So he was like 15.
He was like 14, 15.
Yeah.
Yeah.
For him to have the verbal ability, like the rhyme ability back then is insane, bro. Like,
True.
he spent a lot of time working that pen before he came out to the world. So I think that was fire.
He's a very good writer.
Was he he said he battled, when I did his interview, he said he battled for people at Rockefeller and at this and that and the third. So, like, who was he battling in the city? I'm quite sure he was battling at your house.
So nah, like I don't remember Comp really being the battle type. And when he's at my house, it was his first time recording, so your whole vibe wasn't Comp yet.
Got you.
But he did very, very good.
Got you.
But just to speak of Comp, like, he's always been a dude. Once he developed his style and he hit that stage, it gets kind of crazy.
Right.
But I've actually never seen Comp battle per se. I've seen Scar go with Scar was a beast.
Now, where did you meet Scar?
Yo, Scar moved on the street over from when I was living, before I moved out of my mother's house. He moved on the street behind it. Mm-hmm. So obviously one of my best friends live on the street. I'm gonna be here almost every day. Mm-hmm. So we out there rapping, and this is pre. I guess it's like in the middle. I got a djembe. I used to play the djembe, bro. So I got a djembe, and we out there rapping.
Yo, you the most
we out there
rapping, nigga bro. I have ever met from Baltimore.
And guess who come outside? Just moved in with his mom.
Was he always this insane?
Yo. First of all,
I love you, Scar. Don't start no shit.
I thought something was about to happen because his face was just like
he screw faced
right
all day.
So I'm like, you just moved in? Yeah, what's up? And then I'm like, he was like, y'all here rapping? I was like, yeah, what's up? I rap. I was like, what's up? So we battled for real. He always denied how it felt. We probably went back and forth 3 times. And he didn't get me, and I didn't get Yo. So it was more of like, we both knew, like, damn, I thought I could have got, like, he sized me up wrong, I sized Yo up wrong. And from there, it was like a respect thing, which led into the one of those songs that we did. But yeah, I met him right around the way, and we've been rocking ever since. He's insane, but he's my little brother. Like, me and Scar have been through it, bruh. Me and Scar used to live together. Me and Scar lived together.
How, yo? Y'all two wild dudes.
Me and Scar lived together. It had to have been 2 years.
Yo, y'all had to been.
Bruh.
It came to blows at least once.
Bruh. Yo. That's my little brother, bruh. But yeah, Scar crazy, yo. Scar crazy, yo.
Scar crazy.
That's my guy.
Crazy to bag of cats,
yeah, our relationship has been like, it's just hard to explain. Like, it is like the real.
Everybody describes their relationship the same way with Scar. Yo. They like, yo, it's like my relationship with Scar.
My relationship with Scar is big brother, little brother. Like, please stop playing with me, yo. Fuck you, nigga. You know what I mean? Like, it's just like, it's that vibe. But we love each other to death, yo. But me and Scar have actually been through some real life stuff.
That's insane. All right, so you got the house, you got the equipment in there, you bringing people around, you doing the movement tapes. You know what I'm saying? Now, in this process, probably what you're not thinking about is, you're widening a community of individuals who are now interacting, getting to know each other, hearing records from each other they probably didn't know. You know what I'm saying? And then now you become like almost like the centerpiece of all of that. So you kind of become a pseudo-famous leader kind of a thing, but you've already been that leader for a while now. So I guess interesting. This is an interesting little thing you playing for yourself.
So it's like what I was leveraging is, this is when certain little spots will start popping up for people to perform. So it's like all these people, I got all the people. Mm-hmm. So I'm putting them on, like I'm pulling them for certain shows.
Right.
And then this is more like my house studio setup. It's really for mixtapes.
Right.
So now it's like, yo, but don't forget, you gotta holler at Mike. Yo, when you get your songs and all that, this is just for, we rhyming on somebody else's beat. Right. Once you ready, you gotta holler at Mike. Oh yeah, we do the CD duplicate. Like, it was like the ultimate leverage move for everything to connect. Everything to connect. And I swear to God, that's what I told Mike the first day I met you. Like, yo, I got you, yo. Because I seen how serious Yo was. So for me to just kind of play that bridge,
right,
it was a no-brainer for real.
So as Architects is growing, because initially from from Mike McIntosh's conversation, he wasn't doing too much. He was just buying equipment. He was just trying to do something to give his brother. He was trying to create a lane for his brother.
That's true.
But then as he grew in popularity and you're growing in a relationship and he starts connecting the dots, how does that come into play? Like when do y'all start? Because to me, I feel like it was a plan, but the way y'all talk about it is like it just happened. Like, you know, Tim Trees so happened to come in and start doing the heat pop off, and it just so happens that you know what I'm saying, Lord Scooter and this. I'm jumping time periods, but we talking about Boss Man. We talk about, I don't know, did Mully Man record it too, or
You said Mully Man?
yes, sir.
Mully Man never recorded it.
Okay, cool. I was just bringing it up. So, like, you know what I mean? And then Be Rich? Or was no, because Be Rich was recording with...
for sure. Probably with Dookie Man.
Yeah, with Dookie Man. Okay. So...
But regardless, like, once the door started opening up, the word just started spreading. Because he was doing the CD. So then you're meeting people for different reasons.
Right.
Even though they're not recording, they might come just to get some CDs. Even if they're not recording, they might need some covers. So once you have a resource, let me see the studio. And then obviously once we went to Harvard Road, that just really made it a commercial thing.
Right.
But to be honest, it wasn't a plan of like, this is out, like we have meetings and this is how we're going to approach it. I think it was more of like a natural thing, like, yo, all right, that makes sense. Make it happen. Or if somebody come through, all right, I'm cool with that. Let's make it happen. Right. Like, I think it was all just meant to be, to tell you the honest truth.
What do you feel like was the most magical evolution of an artist that you kind of saw where you like, wow, I didn't see that coming, and you know what I mean, just being proud to see it go from kind of incubation to execution?
I'll do two. Shelby Raw. Mm-hmm. Do you know what Shelby Raw is?
Nope.
Exactly. All right, so Shelby Raw moved here from Boston, I think, to go to Morgan. Mm-hmm. Right? She met a friend of mine named Rockwell. And that's how she kind of came to the table. Rockwell like, yo, got this short, yo, she bad, she young, yo, I'm telling you, yo, we can put a project out around her. So we bring her in. Well, he really bring her in at first. But then Mike sees it, and bruh, like they put a project together and she became an overnight sensation. And then life came and things happened, you know what I mean? Right. She had to move, she moved out of state and things like that. But literally, if people are watching this and know who she was, like it was like a brief, like, wow. So like you dropped the record. She dropped a CD.
She dropped a whole album and it takes off. Single goes.
She was the talk. Because it wasn't that many girls rapping like that. And the quality of the music was actually pretty good. Right,
because he's Mike Mack is doing the thing.
Matter of fact, it was other girls rapping. Let me take that part back. But regardless, I know for a fact that her vibe turned up very well. And I was very surprised that it came out that well. But the other person who pretty much changed my life is Damond Blue. I remember the first time I heard his voice on the record, it came up under Tyreek Oleon. Mm-hmm. It was Young Hustlers was the name of the group. The dude that was in the group with him was murdered. I remember the first time I heard his voice on that CD, Scar made the cover. I called Ronald, my manager. I was like, bruh, you gotta hear this dude's voice. He's like, all right, I mean, get me the CD. So I like make him a copy of the CD. I give it to him. And then I call him like the next day, like, yo, you listen to that? You listen to the CD? Yo, did you hear the dude's voice? Yeah, he was like, it's cool. Yeah, I was so mad, yo. I'm calling your back file. He was like,
it's only super funny because I know how Ronald is.
Yeah, I was mad, yo. So either way, I remember looking for Blue.
Right.
Right? Like, yo, I'm gonna find this dude. And then I remember me and Rockwell, that's my man. Me and Rockwell seen yo at this club. And we have a real good conversation. I was like, yo, you gotta come to the studio. This is when we was on Harvard Road now. You gotta come to the studio. I got this thing called Gritty Gang. I wanna put you in Gritty Gang, but I got a plan. You're gonna start with Gritty Gang, and then we're gonna like throw you over to the other side of the fence as far as like a commercial artist with Nigel and Mike. All right, take him like 2 weeks, 3 weeks to come through. So we have a whole run of just doing mixtape stuff. But then that transition, bro, like I'm very proud of Damond Blue's transition when it comes to like songwriting, everything that he did as far as opportunities that kind of came off of his blessing per se.
Right.
So that was definitely a good example of like from start to finish. Like I've seen that dude transform.
So you're literally telling me, which sounds like a bunch of hawk shit, but is you heard his voice and was just like,
I swear to God,
it is the texture.
It's like other people on the CD,
the vibe of a god.
Every time he would rap,
right,
I was like, yo, that dude is something, yo. His voice, yo. Damond Blue has a very good voice.
He has a very distinctive voice. Now, hearing him now, it's almost like worlds apart, even because
because he didn't.
Yo, he's got his vocal ability.
Right.
He's singing. Yo, he's singing some real kind of like R&B type
Blue
stuff, bro.
got some songs that if I don't know if they ever gonna come out, but he got some pop singing songs that your face will be like, what in the? Like,
can we talk about why he won't drop the R&B stuff for real,
bro? You gotta call him. He probably
I'm not. I don't want to talk to him, yo. Cause he don't never tell me nothing. You watched the interview. It was a whole hour of nothing. He ain't tell me nothing for an hour. It was an hour's worth of nothing. I was like, yo, I love you, bro. But you fucking shimmy danced and fajita danced all over this interview and ain't give me nothing. For real. And I was like, I loved him for it. I was like, yo, you a real professional, yo. Cause you ain't give me not a day. That was the most useless interview I ever got in life. But I love you. I mean, I had to talk trash for him. He done finessed me into talking trash for him.
True.
And the whole nine, yo. But anyway,
yeah,
but to me,
example,
that's what makes him so dope. Is that, you know what I mean? Like, you can have an entertaining conversation and he not tell you nothing. You know what I mean? That he can make dope music. Like, I feel like his problem is he's too talented. You know what I mean? When you got somebody that can do everything,
right? He
always gonna be dip.
Yeah.
Like, when you suck and you only good with one thing, you get real good at that one thing.
That's actually a very good point.
You know what I'm saying?
I do feel like when his diversity was just everywhere, industry wise, that's a hard thing for a fan to follow.
The music industry is not built.
They want to know what they're buying.
Well, the marketing department needs to know, how do I market this nigga?
Very good point.
You know what I'm saying? Because that's the only department that cares. Because it's like, oh, I've got to sell this. Who am I selling it to?
True.
And what am I selling? And it doesn't matter if you can do 10 things. What's the one thing that we're going to market? And I felt like y'all frustration, because I'm from the outside. I'm like, yo, y'all don't know what. Like, when you look at the photography, when you look at the flyers, you look at the rollout, it's like, yo, we don't know whether is he a gangster? Is he R&B singer? Right. Is he, just a nice fly guy from around the way?
So to be clear, he actually is all those things. But so the problem is, like I that's the problem, right? But internally, it's like he's dealing with it like, I can rap like this,
right?
I can sing like this,
right?
I can make this for the, like, he's looking at it in a good way,
correct? As
far as catalog,
correct.
But it does put the rollout in a pickle, especially like, we're new to this. Like, we haven't done this before like that.
Right.
So it's like, we trying to be as flexible as possible. You know what I mean? But yeah, to answer your question, seeing him from the day I met him at that club and the things that I've witnessed him do, like, that is my example of like blown away.
Definitely. His growth as an artist and as a man has been a phenomenal feat. Now, for those who have never managed an artist, and I'm not saying you're the manager, I'm just saying as somebody who was a mentor and somebody who was around him, can you speak on what are the elements that you feel are necessary to usher an artist from somebody that is just deciding to start rapping to a full-fledged, full-time artist? Like, what are the things and the processes that need to happen for you to be correct, ready to work with that person and to work with them? And how do they need to be thinking?
So yeah, I'm speaking outside of Damond Blue now.
Yeah, of course. Please do.
Right. So it really comes down to it being a real, in my opinion, a real relationship. You know, people say business is business, and that's true. Right. And a lot of relationships are just going to be business. But if you can find somebody who gives a fuck about you, mm-hmm. it changes the dynamic, because they care about every aspect of your life, mm-hmm, right? Mm-hmm. I remember my manager telling me, like, yo, you smoking a lot of blunts, yo, like, you want to die early? Like, and him saying that to me back then, I don't smoke anymore.
Right.
But him saying that to me back then, in 2000, I looked at Joe like, yo, damn, yo. He was like, I'm just asking. Like, you acting like you want to make it, but are you trying to die too? And yo, serious, he not joking. And now I'm bringing that up because it's kind of funny to me.
Right.
But I'm saying he cared about me as a person.
Correct.
Right? So when I see an artist doing something that is detrimental to their health, life, or their reputation, I'm gonna make that uncomfortable phone call. Like, yo, what are you doing, bro? So if that is a piece of the equation, automatically I think the outcome is a lot better.
Okay.
Because you have a genuine understanding of we're going to have uncomfortable conversations and we care about each other, so we don't want to let each other down.
Right.
From there, it really comes down to a real plan. Artists do not, and they can do this without a manager, they don't put together a 3-month plan. I'm going to drop the video in March, right? After the video, I'm going to drop the EP. When the EP is out, I'm going to do 5 shows the month after that at these schools. That's 3 months. Now with social media, you're capturing 3 months of great content, and then you can cut it up, and it's going to look. You can use that for probably another 3 months.
That's a fact.
So say you was out of money, your next 3 months can just be pushing
social media,
and
pictures and video clips
and re-editing this and throwing it over here, right? Now a good person, I tell them you need to have 3 things a month, whatever it is. 3 things a month, every month, write them down and roll them out. And then the manager should be the person that's like, yo, what's up with you on point with the? So I think a person needs somebody that's going to be kind of checking them. You know what I mean? Like along the process.
Correct.
And then, like I said, those uncomfortable conversations are the real thing, bro. Like if a dude is showing up late, a manager would be scared to tell you because it'd be one of these young street dudes that they think it's cool for them to be late, and they don't want to mess up their check per se.
Right.
But them being late is a problem because they're going to be late for something that's very important, and you ain't going to know that such and such was going to be there, and it's going to blow a whole thing. So I think those are like some of the components that are important.
Okay, so all right, now that's very important. Please, y'all take notes. Now the next question I ask is more important. How do you deal with crazy artists, cuckoo brain?
So in general, artists are usually kind of crazy. Now, when you say cuckoo brain, do you mean?
No, I'm saying
jump out
the normal
the
artists,
window?
cuckoo brain, just
Bruh.
they be all over the place. You know, I mean, because it's natural, because they're creative. They're creative individuals. So like, and they'll have, I think we should market like this, son. And we gonna get the big tank, and it's gonna be gold. We gonna drive it down Baltimore Street. What the fuck are you talking about?
I think it's like landscaping, right? Like a tree is gonna grow. It's gonna grow. Like a bush gonna grow, but at some point you might look at the bush like, whoa. Like
too much. You gotta share it.
You're scraping the screen door, so you gotta cut it back a little bit. But you still want it to grow, right? So the other side might start to grow. So my point is, when it comes to that creative thinker, I just feel like they need somebody to throw those ideas off of. And then if it's a good idea, I mean, obviously be true, but if it's a bad idea, bro, like, nah, yo, that's a bad idea. What you mean? Why? And then if I can't tell you why, then it might not be a bad idea. So I don't really like managers that they can't push back. Why is it a bad idea? I mean, it just is. Nah, it might not be then. But if I can give you concrete understanding of these are the reasons why you should not do that.
Right.
These are the potentials that could come out of that on the negative.
Right.
You looking at these things, but what about these things? If these happen, everything goes down.
Okay.
You know what I mean?
So the next question is, as a manager, are you a part of when I say creative process, I don't mean writing songs, but we all know that doing a marketing strategy, setting up the release of an album, that's a creative thing. Is the role of the manager to create this process, or is it just kind of like the manager's idea to take notes from the artist? All right, so what you want? You want roses and an ice sculpture yourself? All right. So you gonna come out with a white robe? All right, and I'm gonna make it happen. Like, how do you feel like the manager's role plays into the imagery of the artist and how the albums are rolled out?
I think rollout managers have a lot of more hands-on. Image-wise, if you're lucky, that person doesn't need help, right? If you're not lucky, then you do have to kind of monitor it. So I know I've seen Ronald deal with some of his artists, and they got a photo shoot and help make them take pictures of what they're going to bring to the photo shoot. And then he might actually say, oh, nah, that shirt probably not going to work. Or, nah, I mean, those shades, you got another pair of shades, because he cares. Right? So I think managers that try to take control, I think that's an issue. But I think they should be aware of everything that's going on and then have opinions about what's going on in the process and give feedback. And then if something is technically, you feel like it's not going to work, communicate it.
Got you.
Communicate it.
Now, being that you are a very experienced person in this industry, you've kind of seen the city grow into the space that it's in now. You know, what are some of the main things you feel like are missing from our entertainment scene that keeps us from evolving and growing in a healthy way?
That's a tricky question because we have it's tricky. There's two sides now. There's older rappers, and then there are younger rappers. So automatically, that's two different worlds, and they need to be dealt with accordingly. I think people actually think that it can go together. I don't personally think it can. I really don't.
I feel like legacy acts, older rappers, and the younger, newer artists can't be held the same way. You can't. That's like saying you're gonna treat the Mona Lisa the same way you would treat this $5 painting that I got on this wall. Like, you can't.
All right. So with that being said, for the older peer group, I think it really comes down to they need to figure out what they're good at, figure out some merch, and figure out ways to make money off of hip hop. Because you got to think, a lot of times, compared to a younger artist, like they'll give a younger artist $3,000 for a show. And then on the other side of the fence, this person is trying to open up for such and such, they might get charged. You got to sell this many tickets, or what's your draw? How many numbers you got on Instagram? But on the other side, yeah, I got 20,000 pounds. I got 150,000 pounds. It's just night and day usually as far as like people's following. Then you get your hybrids of artists that actually are very good at what they do and they can go back and forth. And I think a good example of that would be Stars. You know, so they exist, don't get me wrong, but they don't come that often that where somebody can jump back and forth. But the younger artists, bruh, the real issue is they don't believe they need us. So I'm not saying I don't rap no more, right?
Right.
But they don't think they need us, my peer group, at all. And that is their problem, bro.
Yeah, because a lot of them are jumping into a world that they don't understand.
Bruh.
And they because they are bull in a China shop generation, meaning that they don't listen to people, they have a tendency to walk into situations destroying things as they go along. So let's say, for instance, if I'm a promoter and I want to book you for a show, but you don't know how to conduct yourself or talk to anybody, you just feel like I can say whatever I want to somebody, but you still won't give me this money because you think you need me. And it's just like, there's a billion other rappers out here. I don't necessarily need you particularly.
Yo, I've taken time to roll out whole plans for a young dude. Like, you know what I mean? Like, then like, hell yeah. I mean, they getting it. They hearing me. Yep. Oh my God.
I've had those conversations.
You right.
Yeah, I had those conversations.
Roll it out. Say no more. Say less. They ain't doing that, right? They leaving. Oh man, yo, I swear to God, yo, it's on. Nothing. Like, not one thing, bruh, happens. Not one thing. I prepared for that meeting. I Googled this. I looked up that for you. I came prepared. Not one thing, bruh.
And all they do is just...
Are you good? No response. A week later, I'm good. Just out here getting to the money. A week later, though. Well, what's up with the such and such? Yeah, you right. We're gonna get to that. Nothing. So I'm just saying, like, I really feel like a major problem is that the younger audience, they don't think they need us. Versus what they don't understand is that I can make that phone call that you probably... I mean, they got resources too, don't get it twisted.
Right, of course.
But it's certain people they just can't touch.
Right.
Right? And there's certain things you just naturally don't know at your age.
Mm-hmm.
So I know people, I didn't have youth in the Beast Now Bullet program. I'll be like, yo, so you got your publishing? And they be like, yeah. Something like that's what you do in life. No, but real talk, they be like, yeah. I be like, you got publishing like what? I mean, like, what you mean like what? I got my publishing. Who you with? What you mean who I'm with? I make beats and I got my publishing. But they don't got it, right? So instead of them saying no, which automatically my response is gonna be what? You don't? Okay, I know someone who can do this for this. Or it's free to do this.
Or just explain to you.
Or just explain.
There's BMI and there's ASCAP.
So
and let me tell you the difference between BMI and ASCAP.
I think that's a major hindrance, yo. I can't put it in words. I think it's a major hindrance. I've been telling these young dudes, and I'm giving this is actually something that you could do, and it will work. But I've been telling young people this the most. On your phone, or on your, they got all the apps,
right? Where
they be in there, like it be like it's like a chat,
right?
It's different versions of them, some video, some y'all get it. Create a chat where it's to survey music. So the people that you put in there obviously know why you put them in there. And then we talking about youngsters though. So you send the song, yo, what y'all think? Let me know, and they give their raw feedback. 20 individuals of different, you know what I mean?
That would be monster.
It'll be monstrous. And then they can leverage that. Do it for a little bit.
Right.
And then you can I heard you be sending people singles to youth between yeah. Oh, how much for that? $250. Ooh. All right. You can leverage that, right? They don't listen, bro. But I'm just saying.
Because you know why? It's hard to get 20 dedicated dudes, women or men, to when you drop something, whether it's once a week or once every 2 weeks, to take the time, listen to it, and then
no,
thug it out in the chat.
No, you're bugging. I'm talking about.
If we talking about white kids, we can do it.
No, I'm talking about children between the ages of 11 and 17. That's all they do is say what's hot and what's not. Yo, listen, this is my favorite. That's all they do, bro.
I'm gonna try to make that happen. I think that's an ill concept. Yo, you know what I'm saying? I got one guy right here, bro. I see if I can make him do that.
Do.
All right.
And it's not like every day.
No. It's not like I said, like once a week or once every 2 weeks.
Whatever it is.
Might drop 1 or 2 songs.
Bro.
Check it out. Give me your opinion.
Whole thing is that they want to be in there, though. You letting them know I want y'all in it.
Right.
They can say no.
Yeah.
You gotta pick the right people.
I want somebody that want to be in there and that's got an opinion. I don't want no. See, that's what I'm saying. I don't want no thumbs up, thumbs down type person. I want like a little bit of explanation.
Yeah, I agree.
Yo, the beat kind of whack, or yo, I don't like the lyrics, or the
I'm saying I want somebody to say that shit phony, yo. No, that's phony.
Yeah, I like that too.
Right.
That's better than a thumbs up, thumbs down.
Yeah, but it's just getting to the point.
That's definitely there.
I'm just saying, I just think that that eventually is going to be worked on, where we're going to work together more, and I feel like when that happens, that transition will definitely solve a lot of the issues when it comes to Baltimore hip hop actually going where it really needs to be. I mean, timing is everything. I think before I leave this earth, we're going to continue to chart, and somebody's going to really hit. Like Shorty really did something monumental when it comes to Baltimore hip hop.
Right. Correct.
So someone else is going to do something else. You know what I mean? And I think that we're going to continue to kind of see strides when it comes to our city becoming respected. And our name is definitely. It always came up in the past in different songs and stuff like that. But currently, Baltimore's name
is big.
Yeah, it's that.
When you have YGG Tay hanging out with Pusha T, you got YBS Scooter. You had Scooter hanging out with Puff Daddy and Meek Mill in the game. Yep. And then you've got D Trinata. Then you've got, you know what I'm saying?
Even Chino.
Right. Yep. Oh, yeah, Chino. That's Meek Mill right-hand man right there.
In that movie.
Right. We got that movie going on. You know what I'm saying? Then you've got, like you said, you got Shorty, you had Band Hunter, Izzy kind of break, you know what I'm saying, left and right a little bit. You had Tate do very well at one point. Just seen him on Instagram with Wale. You know what I'm saying? I think yesterday or today, you know what I mean? So it's like we are finally have been elevated into a space where we could be in the room to show that the talent exists.
Right.
You know what I mean? There is finance enough to keep these young boys fed and moving around with clean clothes and a shower,
right,
so that they can do what they're supposed to do. I feel like when people ask me, well, does Baltimore have a scene? I say yes. I said it's just not funded. That used to be my thing. We needed funding, and we need intelligent people to know what to do with the funding.
Yeah.
You know, not just taking some money and buying everybody gold chains and popping bottles and looking like idiots, but to say, hey, you know what I'm saying? I got a guy that's in New York. He's got a studio here. Let's get these guys in a hotel, get them in the studio, and let's see what they can do. See if they can make some friends, if we can build some relationships. See
totally
if you can get, writing, publishing.
I still feel that the resource of income and investment is also a major problem, because I'll see the young dudes getting $2,000 for a show, bro. Like, that's crazy. And then throw it back out or just stun out on it. They don't think, oh, this can pay for the project. Oh, this can pay for posters. Oh, this can pay to get on BET. Oh, this can, right? And I feel like that is the missing piece of people not in that peer group, kind of like, yo, we need this much. To do this.
Okay, so you old enough so you can have this conversation with me. I remember when I was a kid, when the rappers got popping, they had cars, they had apartments or houses, they had money to burn. They ate good. They looked like they were living a better life. I see these rappers, they be like, I need a ride, or I need an Uber. These be the hottest niggas. Now, there is probably the top 3 niggas in the game in Baltimore. They got whips and cars or whatever. But most of the mid-level to low-level dudes, they don't even got whips. Like, they don't even have a driver's license for real. You be like,
very good point.
What the hell? Like, why you ain't got a driver's license?
Right.
Like, that doesn't even make sense to me.
It doesn't.
And that's where I'm trying to understand this supreme disconnect, and I'm wondering, like, from a label standpoint, like, is there a point where you just be like, yo, bro, you can't do nothing until you get this driver's license? Like, yeah, I'm like, you Puff Daddy, I'm shutting the studio down.
Right.
All y'all niggas get driver's license. Nigga, get your ignorant asses out of here. Like, did you pay your rent this month? Or like, hey, everybody's buying houses. Y'all all got advances. Like, is that a discussion to be had, or am I just insane?
No, I think going back to what we said earlier, like, if you can, it's rare, but when you find somebody that is paying attention to every aspect, because once you get your license, it's actually going to make my job probably easier.
Right.
What are you doing now? You're relying probably on me,
right,
or me to get someone to get you there.
To get you there, right.
Or you riding with your homeboy, and we know what's going to happen off of that. You're going to show up extra high,
right,
or you're going to get pulled over. And so like the book writes itself. You know what I mean? But I just feel like when you have somebody that's kind of managing the whole process to make the best person, period. Forget artists.
Right.
You need your license. You need to get, even if it's, you got something on your record, get that off your record just so that don't pop up when we
moving around, trying to take flights, going out of the country.
To go into a school, they might do a background check.
Wow, didn't even think about that. I didn't even
think about that. You do a college tour, they might actually do a background check.
Right.
You got a gun charge, but it got dropped. That's how it be. It got thrown out, but it say gun. And you can get it expunged for free.
Right.
So it's like stuff like that. If somebody's paying attention to the real core details, I can't wait for that to be a thing.
Okay. So can we talk about the journey of DBMG going from Damond Blue Music Group to Dream Bigger, and then from that to Beats No Bullets? Now, and is Ceasefire an offshoot of DB?
You got all types of things. Yeah, you're asking like 10 questions.
I am asking 10 questions all at once, but they all related to one brand for real. Like,
no, Ceasefire is not related.
Okay, that was something you started separately.
Me and Erica, yes.
Okay, cool. So we'll get to that in a minute because that's a big discussion to be had. Let's go back to Damond Blue Music Group, because I remember somebody showing me something and it said Damond Blue Music Group on there. Why did you all allow that to happen? And who was who fed into Damond Blue's insanity in that moment to go, we're gonna start a record label called Damond Blue Music Group. I love you, bro, but that was the dumbest shit I've ever seen in my life. Y'all was high. Did y'all actually do paperwork? Damond Blue Music Group? Like, even Rick Ross didn't do Rick Ross Music Group.
So yeah, I mean, that was a thing. I was not, so in that time, I'm not making no excuse, but in that time frame, like, I did the handoff, I knew it was going to play out, but I had to play the bag. I didn't have a role.
Got you.
Right? So that was kind of just out of my hands. In hindsight, obviously, it wasn't the best idea. So in short term, that became a discussion automatically. Like, if we're thinking long term, thinking other artists, no one's gonna want to sign to the artist already. He's already gonna be our cash cow per se. He's already gonna be our number one priority.
Right.
And then they're gonna see that he's our number one priority, and then you're asking them to sign to Damond Blue Music Group, right? So then we just figured we'll just play with his initials, which turned into the Dream Bigger,
which I love. I love that name. That is a great idea. That took up a lot of blunts and a lot of alcohol probably to get y'all to that place. So, all right, Dream Bigger Music Group. Y'all finally come down to the name. Y'all copyright it and do all the little crap you need to do. And then, I think at that point, Damond Blue had already dropped the... What is that album called? Him with his face on the front of it and his black background with the blue letters.
Blessings, right?
Blessings. We're after Blessings when that happens, and it's probably a little mixtape. And then I think it's around the time Stars came on board. But was J Royale a part of DBMG at any point in time?
J Royale has never been a part.
Okay, cool. He's
J
just
Royale
an associate.
Was brought into Gritty Gang.
Got you. Okay. So he got the same launch board that Damond Blue got, but Damond Blue just, took a different direction. The commercial shiny suit
Blue's
route.
play was give yo to Mike and Naj.
Got you.
Royale's play is obviously a lot different.
Got you.
Because he's in a whole nother category.
Shout out to J Royale. Right. I think y'all done. I think Royale's both of them are phenomenal because, like, J Royale's got his record. He's got that physical record that he prints up.
J Royale
he's got skateboards.
J Royale.
T-shirts.
Remember how you said the crazy artist?
Yeah.
Yo, his mind don't stop. Right? His mind don't stop. And he just called me with all the ideas. Yo, what you think about? And most of the stuff actually don't be bad. Like, most of it is always on point, and then I just try to give any other small things to add on. Every now and then it's like,
it's a little crazy, bro.
It's a little crazy,
J Royale condoms ain't gonna work this year. Maybe let's wait till next summer.
Yo, Royale, your mind is different.
And the music is fire.
Yo,
bro.
J Royale is going to do something. Like if he doesn't stop, it can turn. Because he makes some stuff that I'll be like, yo.
I feel like what Griselda's doing right now is carving a lane that him and Ill Conscious can fucking killing that joint, bro.
Nice too.
They
but I don't think it's far-fetched that they can link with Griselda in there.
They did. They got a record with them.
That's what I'm saying. So I'm saying on some like, yo, I like what y'all doing.
Yeah.
We got some resources.
Come on.
And he's in that world.
Right. Uplink with that joint. And the touring and all that they've been doing is a beautiful thing. So, like, you know what I mean?
But J Royale wasn't attached to that.
Okay, cool. So, all right, DBMG starts to get established. What is that journey like for you? Because this is different. This ain't like being in Mike McIntosh and y'all printing up some CDs and doing some mixtapes. This is building an infrastructure of a business. Y'all are traveling, blues moving around the country. He's writing for other artists. He's getting celebrity, hooks, and now he's doing, like, what is how are things changing? Because I'm really trying to give an idea to these young cats. Like, yo, it's not the same thing. You can't just smoke blunts all day and think that all of this stuff is going to happen for you.
Right.
So what's the process as you're going along the journey?
The process is figuring out the resources, figuring out who does this, who does that.
Okay, so when you say resources, are we talking about tangible, physical things most of the time, or are you talking about trying to find out who's in control of what? Are we talking about people, places?
I'm talking about what is the process to do this. I remember just the first time we got on World Star, that's a process. Of course, at first you just pay a little bit of money, but we want to do something a little different. So learning that process. Who runs these radio stations? How can we get, like, just everything has a process. DJs in Atlanta, who are these people? How do we get through that door? And then documenting that. I think that's what a lot of people don't do.
Document
they don't
the process.
document the process.
Because you're going to eventually have to hand it off to somebody else.
Exactly. Or you can use this to build your own process similar. Or when you run into somebody that does something similar, you can compare processes and then put them together and just kind of expand on that, right? But other than that, that is definitely real work. That's what I've really learned. Like running around, your energy is your energy, bro. So you got to catch a flight here, the show here, but then you got to do the sound check, but you ain't showered yet. Then you got to go back, then you want to come back. Like it ain't a game. Then you got to go to sleep at 5 o'clock in the morning,
right?
And then you got to be up by 8. But it's your job to get him up. It's like it's not a game. Then when the arguments, but yeah, the arguments.
All right.
Jesus.
What do you feel like was that you feel comfortable speaking on camera about? The biggest mistake that you feel like, we stumbled or we really didn't do the right thing in this process, and what do you feel like was the best thing that you ever did?
I think the main thing is the Give It To You record. That was a hit.
Thank you.
I think we should have
shot the fucking video, and you should have goddamn put the gas on it.
That should have been the gas, and we should have followed up with that record. Like we should have followed up with something that was very similar to that.
Yeah,
like very similar.
Yeah,
that's the only thing I can say. Everything else, I think, it really comes down to you live and you learn, and the experience would never go anywhere. So that's just speaking internally, right? Because a lot of blessings came out of Damond Blue. Like there's no other way to put it. So I think that would be one thing, and then I just think being able to kind of see the world was probably like another selfish thing. I'm like, yeah, that was one of the best parts. But seeing him on TV, dope. The first time they gave him a trailer at a concert. Dope. You know what I mean? Like just seeing that, and I'm big. There like, I'm like, yo, in your trailer, yo. All right, had his little name on there. You know what I mean? It had a bed.
Oh yeah.
It had food in there. Like just those little things that you'll never forget of those times. Man, I used to have this Tahoe. We can definitely move forward because I don't want to spend too much time talking about this. I had this Tahoe, and we used to drive around years before all this happened. And just like, yo, I'm telling you, yo. And then once we do that, and it happened. So I just really know, that's why I always tell certain people who I believe in, like, yo, if you push, it can happen. Because once you see something in your mind, that's what it really comes down to.
Word.
The other thing would be Damond Blue created Beats Not Bullets, not me. And that was his baby. So he asked me to make it into a real thing. So obviously I'm very excited about the potential of Beats Not Bullets. Where it is today in another 5 years, I'm very excited about that program.
Yes, I definitely feel like y'all have created a program that is very dynamic and very intricate. And to me, to take a child through the process of almost being like an artist on a label. Yeah. Y'all do image development, y'all do the production, you teach them how to, produce, you teach them how to, songwrite and perform, and then like all the way down to putting the record together and then putting it out.
Correct.
Like I think that is a phenomenon, and teaching them not only to be in touch with their creative side, but to be in touch with the business.
True. I
think that's such a huge thing. And I was so like, when you invited me to that event where y'all were graduating, and that was the first time the only thing I knew about Beats No Bullets is, all right, you getting some kids off the street so they don't shoot nobody. This is good. But like to see and have the kids explain everything that they were involved in, I thought that was such a phenomenal kind of like process. I was like, yo, you just created a little mini label every year for these little kids. That's dope.
Right.
So like, all right, Damond Blue, he's smoking a blunt, drinking some champagne. He goes, "Yo, son, I want to do a non-profit, and I want to send the kids." Like, how did he come up with the idea? Like,
he definitely ain't used the word non-profit.
Yeah, okay.
But literally, he said, "Yo, then we gotta do the music program." I was like, "Yeah, that's what's up." He said, "Yo, it's gonna be called Beats Not Bullets." I was like, "Yo, I ain't gonna lie, yo, that's a good idea." And then we put it to the back, you know what I mean? And then it just rehashed. Like, so it's 5 years old. It'll be 5 years old in August.
How many kids have you been able to graduate through the program?
So we have programs that you graduate from, and then we have pop-up shops and things like that where you just kind of go through it. Like, you don't have, it's not a formal thing. We just come to your school, come to your group home.
Got you.
But I would say in 5 years, the number of youth that have experienced it versus graduating or not, it has to be over 500.
Wow.
Like, for sure.
Man, that is insane.
We can do a workshop that has
right
40 people in it.
Right. So do you take all of their publishing once they sign up for the program?
It's funny.
Are they all on 50-50 deals? Right. Like, what's going on?
It's funny because our next transition is to look in. I sound like I'm saying what you just said. Our next transition is to look into formally, like, setting up like a publishing type situation, so that when we start releasing Beats Not Bullets CDs,
right,
like, some of that funding can go back to the actual program, and then obviously they get their own publishing. Got you.
As well. Got you. So how much are you going to take from them? Let me just play. I know you're not going to do nothing like that.
Not at all.
So, all right. So 5 years. Where do you want to see this go,
bro? Like people, you know how, like, you'll see something online or you hear somebody talk about it, but if you're not there, like, you'll never get it. And we can, when we talk about the ceasefire, whenever we talk about that, that's like, remember I said that if you're not there, you don't get it. Mm-hmm. Remember that.
Yes, sir.
Can you remember that?
If you're not there, you won't get it. All right, move on.
So if you're at the program, it's something you can see online. Little dude rapping. Haha, that's cute. Good for you, little guy. But when you there, it's different, bruh. So what I'm developing is really a network of young people who are going to be connected to each other as long as they want to be. But my job is to keep them connected. So I have people who graduated 5 years ago. One dude, he's teaching the class that I'm doing on Tuesdays and Thursdays at Douglas Holmes. Like, he's one of the main instructors, right? So I'm keeping them in a network where I can keep bringing them around each other. So we do a free session every month. They all show up with their songs. Everybody can't rap because it's only 5 hours, but they still showing up because they know it's a network of people. Right. And then that's going to turn into, if that person, because everybody's not going to make it in music, if that person gets a job at Johns Hopkins doing now that it's like a fraternity. Really, right. So the alumni part is what I'm very excited about. But once this program is accepted the way I know it will be in the next year, 2 years, it's going to be in every school. Like, schools are going to want us to come there on a frequent basis. Right. And it's also a vibe where once we do it at a school, they actually can pick it up and kind of do it themselves, but still bring us in just to kind of mold it and administrate, right? Because it's really about what the youth want the program to be for them. Right. But yeah, the next 5 years, I just want it to be more of a household name. Like, I feel like Ceasefire name, like, regardless of anybody's feelings on it, like, you say Ceasefire now, it's like, oh yeah, I heard of that. Yeah, right? Beats Not Bullets, not so yet, not yet.
Well, because you're addressing a different part of an issue that is facing our youth.
That's true too, but I want
Ceasefire directly deals with the gigantically high murder rate in Baltimore. Right. So, like, you know, I mean, but anyway, we'll move on. But I think that both things are beautiful and are necessary, because I feel like Beats No Bullets is a linchpin in changing the mentality of our children by giving them different types of education. So that they can learn how to process information, you know, even the whole process of building a business. Like, if you're an artist, you're a business. and understanding how to develop that business so that it can become profitable.
Right.
And through simplified processes, not giving people a big gigantic book called This Business of Music. People used to say back in the 90s, oh, you want to be in the music business? All right, you got to get this book called This Business of Music. And that shit was like a fucking training manual, nigga. Like, you open that shit up, it's mad words, bro. Like,
I remember buying all those books.
I still got them, and I still haven't. I've not read all of those joints. You go to the specific chapter you need for the little piece of information, and it's so general, and it's not helpful. Like, you know what I mean? Like, it's a. I tell people the music business is a lifestyle.
True.
It's a lifestyle. There's so much in it. There's so much interpersonal interactivity that you have to learn how to deal with. There's so much technical know-how that you have to learn. Right. You know what I mean? So many other things. This is your interview, and I'm not going to talk. You're supposed to be saying all the stuff I'm saying. You fucking up right now. All right? You know what? Give me this. All right? You done. But anyway, like, you never talked about which I don't understand. Like, this is your interview. Normally you'd be crying by now. I got the tissues right here. You supposed to be talking about him. What happened? At what point in your life did he come in involved? Because Siv Jones talks about him, Shaka Pitts talks about him. All these individuals in the community make such a big conversation about it. All right, so where did he come into play? How did you meet him? And how did you guys become such an intertwined group of people to affect so many people in the way you did?
So, came through Rites of Passage. But he he came through, and he was like a cousin of the program. So he came through the program, but after the program, we all kept coming back.
Right.
He'll just kind of pop up and be the slick yo in the room. You know what I mean? So we met through that, and that's where our relationship started. And then obviously Brown Fish turned into a thing. So when Rites of Passage turned into a group, then you had Brown Fish as well. You know what I mean? As well as Jahidi and him and the girl B-Fly.
Legends. I
so
just want you to know that.
Performing, we were very good at performing. Energy, we had practice. These dudes, yo, they would wow spots out. Like, it just was like we performed way different, but like if we knew they were gonna be there, it was like, yo, you know, and them gonna be there, yo. Like, come on, yo, what's up? We have to kill this, right? So we had that kind of like
competitive, friendly competitive nature.
Yeah, very friendly. That was my guy. That was my guy. We had a very real relationship, right? Like, was a dude. He'll come to the studio with a blunt in his mouth, put it out to pick up some CDs. He'll just put it out. Let me get those CDs. He'll pick up the CDs, and then we'll talk real quick. And he'll be like, "Yeah, yo, about to go down to the baby bookings. Got to get out one of these students. I'm out here moving. Love you, bro." I'm like, "What? You about to go where?"
Baby
like,
bookings.
Yo, was about that work, like, period. But his sense of humor, his jokes, he was a good dude. Like, we shared many stages together. We did a few songs together, and it was always dope. But yeah, that was my guy. That shit fucked me up. That shit fucked me up.
But tell me more about this collective that seemed to have accumulated, because so many people speak of and that community, like, he created, like it was a tribe that he created or something, or like I don't truly understand it because I wasn't a part of it. So if you can give me kind of like details on.
No, he treated everybody like like he was like a real politician type. Like he moved in every aspect. Yo, he can go to the street, he can go to the conscious, he can go to the politicians, he can go to the schools. He was moving
because he just wanted to bring everybody together.
And exactly. I mean, he literally treated everybody the same. I think that's a trait that I try to do as well. But he was moving around in a lot of different circles and developed just a natural respect. Like, that's my guy.
Yeah, because when you describe it sound like you funny, you move.
Yo, me and were very similar spirits, and we got along very well. And I think we had a respect of like, like we moved the same.
I mean, like you a little bit grumpier, but I mean, like yo, you still like, you know what I mean? If somebody were to meet you in your resting face, they would be like, man, I don't want to deal with him. He look like he about to shoot somebody. But like,
I actually agree with you.
And when you get to know you. It's like, oh, snap, he's super cool. Like, I was mad nervous trying to, like, meet you and shit. I like, I don't know, this nigga gonna punch me in my face or what? But then when we started talking and I find out you a smart ass, all right, I'll see who I'm dealing with. All right, I got you. Like, and it's love from that point, you know what I mean?
Every time.
And it's like, you one of those rare people in the city that I don't feel uncomfortable having to call. Like, all right, let me get myself together. I gotta call this nigga real quick, like, you know what I mean? And I gotta do that when I call Frank Johnson. Feel how you feel, nigga. I don't care. I gotta literally sit there for like a couple minutes, like, let me prepare myself, because I know I gotta deal with some BS.
That is hilarious.
This nigga say crazy. You know what I mean?
Well,
yo, Frank Johnson.
I agree. A lot of people definitely take me wrong. Like, a lot of people don't think I got a sense of humor, like, because we don't know each other.
Right.
And if I don't know you, like, I'm not.
Yeah, that's not healthy. Like, I'm not going to joke with you. That's something will happen.
Ain't nothing to smile about either. I'm going to speak to you.
Right.
But once we get past that, I mean, it's just a whole nother vibe. But I've know a lot of people that just say, yo, I swear I thought you was mean. I thought you was so serious. And it's like, yeah, when it comes time to be, I can be, right? But on every day, like, I love just fucking with people. Like, just literally having fun.
Word.
That's what it's really all about for me. But, yeah, me and Ooh, we move a lot the same, and your spirit is really like the spirit of what he's about. I think is the most thing that everybody gravitates to, right? Because you can still feel him. Like, you can think about times and be like, oh, yada. Then he was like a weird dude when it comes to spirituality, right? So I swear things be happening, and I be like, there go Ooh. I swear to God, yo be doing some certain stuff. Yo, he pops up certain ways. That's all I'll say. For sure.
Got you. Now, Shaka Pitts accused you of being a great supporter, but you have a tendency to do a move every time you come out. And he said that he used to get stuck hosting 5 seasons because it would be either you was hosting or somebody else, and then halfway through the night.
Oh no, that's
what Shaka Pitts said.
He did not. He said Sonny Brown did that.
Oh yeah, Sonny Brown, but he also put you in there.
What he's referring to is at the end of the night.
It ain't
like, instead of like,
I ain't never seen your ass stay longer than halfway through an event.
You bugging. First of all, I used to go to every event and stay most of the time. Then I had to like, bro, like, I can't do this every time.
You a senior citizen, I get it, bro. Like, you know what I mean?
But it turned into like, because, you know, once you get that one handshake, everybody look up. Got a dap. So now you got to dap up all these people, yo. And then if you leave without shaking their hand, Ogun was on some, like, are we good? Like, literally, like, people would say that. So I just be like I'll be like somebody be on stage and it will be clear that y'all seen me jamming. So they'll look back like, oh, go jamming. Got him. So I'm getting everybody at the same time. They don't know it. They just see me wherever you at. You see Ogun jamming.
Right.
They're like, oh yeah, yo jamming. And then they turn back around. I'll be like, so like they don't know. Like they just know the last time they saw me, I was jamming. It is what it is.
You've been to like maybe 1 or 2 of my events, bro, and I've seen you slip out. It'd be like you like Batman and shit, yo. Yeah, straight like Batman. But no, it's all love though. Like Shaka Pitts he had me dying laughing off your ass, boy. So tell me about that, like being like seeing the development of that, like, cause nobody can tell me that they saw battle rap becoming what it is today. So to see Shaka Pitts. I mean, like, I remember battle rap being around for a while, but you know what I'm saying? URL TV now is an industry.
True.
So this guy organizing a regular battle where dudes is going to come around and just battle rap.
Right.
Like, yo, come on, man. Be honest. You was like, yo, this nigga wilding because he from New York. You know what I'm saying?
No,
like,
I wasn't.
Man, egotistical, crazy guy. Like,
nah. Me and Shaka got along the whole time. Like, me and Shaka haven't had any real issues ever. Word. You know what I mean? And then what he was doing, I actually was surprised. Like, damn, that's okay. But I remember going to some of his stuff early on. Mm-hmm. And like I said, like, when you're not there, you don't know. So I remember going like, oh, they serious. When you hear about something, it's like, oh, I heard they be down there battling, but they was coming down there to do that. So it's like I can't take nothing away from it. I'm not gonna say it ain't gonna work. Like they loving this shit,
Right.
So yeah, like I remember early on, just seeing the passion that he had for it, and then the people who were showing up to battle, like it was a real thing, and persistence, bro. Like once somebody is persistent in what they're doing, like it's nothing else you can say after that.
Word.
And he's developing it more, the branding. So it's like 5 years from now,
Gotcha.
right? It's going to be bigger than what it is now. So I like Shaka Pistons, and he has the right idea to hand it off.
Right.
Right? He's still going to be there.
Right.
But now you got somebody in a younger peer group kind of running it, and I'm sure from after that, somebody in a younger peer group going to run it.
Yeah.
Then he's tracking it, like he's tracking the years such and such started. Like he's doing it correctly, and I think he's particular about his expectations of it, right? And certain dudes are starting to really
pop off.
Yo, the dude Murder,
I don't know,
bruh. The dude Murder might do something. Not even might. The dude Murder should do something. Like he has it. He has that vibe. Like, cause you know when I'm watching battles, I'm sizing them up. I used to rap.
So you think you still got it in
No,
you?
Yeah, right.
Stop.
No, you're
Stop.
right. Yeah, I don't.
Come on.
I don't.
You my nigga. I don't want you doing that, yo.
I don't.
Cause I'ma laugh. I ain't gonna lie to you.
Look, I think I got a good look. I said
You got 16. That's it.
all right, but the dude Murder, yeah, look yo up. Yo, he like his demeanor and just his approach.
He look like he gonna kill somebody.
He looks like he's gonna kill somebody.
That's important, yo.
And
in battle rap, that's very
his
important.
thought pattern is impressive.
Like the way he put the bars together.
Like you can
know what
tell
I'm saying?
how he thought about. Like, dang, yo thought that.
Those are the ones I like.
Yeah,
I like
that.
But all right, you know, real quick on some fun shit. Who's your favorite battle rapper?
In the world?
Yeah, period. I'll give you mine. Lux is mine.
Lux is your favorite?
The way he took apart Calico, but also the way he approaches his rhymes. Like I like that bit of education with the griminess. I know that's inappropriate, but you know what I'm saying? I like that. You know, I want you to give me some Bible verses and tell me you're gonna shoot my top off. Like I like that. Pause.
Lux
Normal.
is very good. He is one of my favorites.
You know what I'm saying? I just don't see.
Goods is one of my favorites.
Goods is okay to me.
Okay?
He's okay to me.
Bugging.
Yo.
You want him, you want somebody to be reading the Bible every time.
No, I don't. Calm down.
Goods is
don't
damn
do
good.
that, yo. God
Yo,
damn.
Goods is damn good.
I like the nigga that got the thing on his face, all the tattoos on his face, and he be
He's
talking crazy.
dope.
I forgot his name.
Start with a D.
Yep, I was about to say disaster, and it's not disaster.
Yeah, it's not disaster.
You know what I mean? I don't want to disrespect that nigga, but you know what? On a surprising side, when I heard Los do like when he did like an official battle, and I watched the YouTube video, I thought that shit was hard.
Oh,
I thought it was a close battle, and that's what kind of made me mad. I'm like, Los, you should have killed this nigga. How you let this nigga go almost 50-50 with you on a battle? Like you tripping? I feel like that nigga need to dig in and stop playing. I feel like Los is an Aries and he arrogant as fuck and he know he nice. So sometimes he be like, I ain't gonna do my homework. I don't need to because I got this. And be like, nah, nigga, he need to dig in.
Super nice.
I feel like Los could really run this battle shit.
I don't think you want to.
That's his problem.
I don't think I want him to.
His problem is his wife fine as shit, yo. That's it. When you got a fine ass wife, you got some bread, couple nice cars, you ain't pressed to do nothing, bro. You ain't trying to conquer the world when you got some fine pussy at home. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like he ain't he can't be a gladiator no more. He getting old. He got gray hairs and shit. Like, come on, bro. Yo, and he gonna complain that niggas ain't showing him enough love. Nigga, put some work out and shut up. You know what I mean? I love you, my nigga. I love you.
Nah, Los dope.
Yeah, Los a fine nigga. All right, so we done went through almost all of your history, but now it's time to talk about the ceasefire. Can you please tell me, first of all, tell the people on camera what the ceasefire is, and then I want to get into the history.
What it is before I say where it came from?
Yes, please.
So the ceasefire, it's obviously an anti-gun violence movement where 4 weekends a year we call a Baltimore ceasefire. And the concept is nobody kill anyone for 72 hours.
Right. Why 72 hours? I've always wanted to ask you that question.
Because that's how long a weekend is.
Okay. I never thought about that. I never put two and two together. I swear to God. So why didn't you say 72 hours? But that is a whole weekend. Damn. Sundown Friday to like
midnight Friday.
Yeah, midnight Monday morning.
Right.
Got you. That's lit. Okay. So Where did the idea come from? So please, history.
On my side, the idea came from, I used to do these classes in the jails, and I was at the city jail.
I'm sorry. How did you start doing classes? Was you in jail and then you just started teaching classes?
Not at all.
How the hell you get into teaching classes?
I used to do job readiness classes, like manhood training classes, at the jails.
Like how to take a shower, put on deodorant.
It was more life skills, and then more importantly, it was job readiness.
How to mop floors,
when
how to
you
sweep
leave, how to get a job.
Got you. Okay, all right, that makes more sense.
Mock interviews and stuff like that.
Right, got you.
So,
have you ever had a real job?
Of course I had a real job.
I'm just saying. I'm like, how are you gonna teach somebody to have a real job?
I've always kept a job. So,
no, you've always had a business. Come on, bro. You ain't.
I've always had a job, like
a regular job. You clock into somebody else's time clock.
I'm saying not currently, but I've always kind of had a job.
Oh, okay, cool.
Right, like for years and years.
I always kind of thought you was like on your own independent business type shit.
I mean, I've been doing that as well, but I'm just saying prior to
getting to that level.
Right, like I kept a job like from high school. But with all that being said, I was doing the program at the jails, and this jail in particular, you had to walk through the first time. I've been to a jail that you had to do this. You had to walk through the yard to get to the classroom. Usually, you'll just come through the gate and they have like somewhere you can meet, and then they bring them in there. But I had to walk through the yard, bruh, in low tie. You know what I mean? I'm like, I gotta walk through there. And ain't nobody walking me. They tell me where, like, and then when you get down there, ask them where the such and such building at. Oh yeah, that's what's up. But with all that being said, I got to start meeting people because I had to walk through the yard, so people would start recognizing me, asking what I do. People would be in the class, and now they see me from the last class. You know what I mean? Like they graduated or whatever. So I'm building relationships as far as when I walk through the yard. So I ended up meeting this dude. His name is Aries, actually. He been home maybe not even a year, and he was running the jail. There's no other way to put it. He had an office. Like, had a computer, and I met Joe. We got real close, and then he was like, "Yo," just in the conversation, he was like, "Yeah, because this weekend, we got a no stabbing policy," and I was like, "What?" He was like, "Yeah, like no, if they fight, they can fight, but if somebody gets stabbed, we gonna deal with them." And I was like, "Yo." Like, let me get this clear. You saying...
Yeah, that's a pretty deep moment.
You feel me? So that stuck with me.
And why did he decide to have a no stabbing weekend?
Because he runs the jail.
So it was like his birthday or something?
No,
like, so don't nobody get stabbed this weekend?
Nah, it's like, if you... are you following instructions?
Ah, got you.
So say somebody in the blood gang... Oh nah, we run this, like, you know what I mean? Like it was really that thing, you know what I mean? But the main thing is that it stuck with me. I was like, yo, that's real. So then I'll come in the next week and I'll be like, yo, how'd that go? Like, yeah, we good. So I was like, so now what? Well, we good. I might call another one maybe and did it. So it just always stuck with me.
That's very smart.
And then another thing that stuck with me is the ceasefire is a world thing, like, right? In different countries, they call ceasefires. Like,
correct.
Some of the biggest conflicts, they have to call ceasefires just to see if they can stop these people from dying.
Trying to negotiate certain things.
Correct.
You know what I mean?
And every time I would hear about that on the news, is the only time I would give a fuck. You know what I mean? Like, I would never check in usually and say, I wonder what's going over there in Israel. I wonder what's going on over there. And are they still killing each other? Right? But as soon as I hear, call a ceasefire, my ears would link up, and then I'll actually go back and look. I wonder if they... So that stuck with me. So out of those two things is where the premise kind of came together. I was like, yo, we should call a ceasefire. So then I'm trying to figure out who to tell this idea, because I know it's going to sound weird. Right. And in my mind, I process stuff very well. So I can process all of all of the yays and all of the nays. Easy. Like, I know exactly someone's going to say this, so don't get mad when they say it. I know this person's going to say this, so don't get mad when they say it.
Right.
Right? So I'm thinking about people that done, and it's not landing. And then I see Erica at this community meeting, and I go up to her, tell her the idea. She was like, hell yeah. I was like, oh shit, okay. Time went by, everybody get busy. Maybe a year and a half later, we revisited the idea off a conversation she had with her son, and the rest is history. So the first one was in 2017.
All right, so how do you... So, like, considering the fact that you're not a big time jailhouse runner guy, drug dealer, I don't know how you run a jail. But anyway, that's a subject for another day. You don't run Baltimore City. So how do you get people to cease fire?
Right. So you got to understand.
And if they kill somebody, do you shoot them? Like, because essentially that's the way the dude that was running the jail is going to do it. You stab somebody, more than likely I'm going to stab you afterwards. But go ahead.
Yo, you stupid. So the concept is, I mean, it's kind of like it is what it is, right? Nobody killing anybody. But this is the thing. Like I said earlier, if you're not there, then certain things you're just not seeing.
Got you.
So there's been individuals who, you gotta, like, a lot of people don't understand. There's a lot of programs that work with at-risk people who this is what they do.
Right.
Right? So for instance, there's one program, the dude said, dudes is about to get into it. It was ceasefire weekend. And they respected it. Like, you know what? No. And they handed him the guns and they fought it out. And left it at that. I don't know what transpired off after that.
Right.
But my point is, it was because of the ceasefire and him spreading it to them. That's his network.
Right.
Of individuals, right?
Right.
I have text messages from gang dudes like, yo, I'm telling my people to chill this weekend. Yo, we probably gonna just chill back for real. And it's off of more of a respect type of thing.
Right.
But then you got to think, if somebody's OG is like, you know what? All right. And they pass that on, then it becomes a real thing for other people as well. So I'm saying that is a real piece, regardless if someone dies on a ceasefire weekend.
Gotcha.
If anyone thinks that way, that is a major thing, bro.
Right.
Period.
Gotcha.
Then you have individuals that don't know about it, don't care about it, couldn't give a fuck, right? So you gotta think about it like this. So we had the ceasefire thing on the bus, right? So imagine being, I'm using this word funny. Imagine being a dummy on the bus with your partner, and you see this thing on the bus that say, "Nobody kill nobody, August 1st through August." Fuck is that, dummy? Right? And then it's starting the conversation, bro. Right? Regardless if I say, man, fuck that bullshit. That shit ain't never gonna work. I stay with my da-da-da-da-da. Right? And then it's a possibility you might say, shit, I ain't gonna lie, yo. I'm tired of this bitch, man. Like, yo, I ain't that stupid because I ain't trying to get killed. It's a conversation.
Word.
Right? I swear to God, we was at this event, right? And we was putting up the flyers and putting on everybody's car and putting up the posters and putting up the stickers and stuff. And I seen a dude grab the flyer and he like walking with it. And his man was like, yo, what the fuck is that? He was like, ceasefire, yo. Like, they heard about that thing where they talk about don't kill nobody, da-da-da. He was like, yeah, I guess. He was like, oh, I ain't gonna lie, yo. Shit, ain't nobody out this bitch trying to die. Fuck it. So it's just a communication thing. So I think one thing I don't think that people understand is that we don't live in a world of absolutes.
That's a fact.
Right? If somebody, it's a lot of people in the city. If somebody dies over this weekend, like that doesn't say that the energy that we're providing or trying to provide or trying to cultivate is a real thing.
Correct.
Like, period. And then most of the people who have most of the opinions are not busting their guns. So mind your fucking business. So I hate when somebody is giving all the opinions and they're not doing no community work. Like none, though. Not like they're doing a little bit. They're not doing any.
Right.
And then they'll this is stupid. Da da da. And then they'll say, "That's why I moved out of Baltimore years ago." Like, shut the fuck up. So that's just in general the vibe of Ceasefire. Like in concept, it's bigger than those weekends because now we're developing resources. So we have the whole 365 movement. We're doing community meetings. We're doing outreach. We're in the schools. We're referring people to this resource and this resource, and we're going to continue to connect these webs. So on the Ceasefire weekend, that's not us doing those events. That's the public doing these events. We might do 2 events, and it might be 25 events the whole weekend.
Wow.
So what we want to start doing is pulling these individuals who chose to do events, put them into a database, and then start to really understand what does this guy really do for a living.
Right.
He did an event. That's good. Hopefully he's gonna do another one next time. But what did he do for a living? And then we start putting that into a different database. So our next goal in the next 2 years is really to like develop the web of everybody that we're touching, from the person who lost their life, right? Their family. They're in a whole separate database, right? So people just got to really think long term, bro. And then at the end of the day, some people are listening. Like, period. It's like no other way to put it, bro. There's no other way to put it.
You have such a connection with the streets and with the politicians and the entertainment world. You know what I mean? How do you balance all of that? Like, how do you personally, there's so many drastically different personalities. You know, I believe the street people that I know have an extremist mentality. You know, politicians have a very extremist in a different way. You know what I mean? They're focusing in, everybody in the middle just seems to be stuck in the middle. How do you navigate all of those scenes?
I remember doing psychology class at Bowie. I got put out of Bowie, but that's a whole nother discussion. But
that's crazy.
I remember I was only there for a year. In that first year, I did some psychology classes. And I liked that a lot. I loved that class, right? So I think I'm very good in, like, really, I can put my finger on how a person works. You know what I mean? Like, I can kind of size them up pretty fast and know what not to say, what to say. Don't say this. This gonna work. I think I'm actually very good with that. But what I think is one of my best attributes is I treat everybody the same. Right? So I know different language is for different people. So you gotta probably change your code every now and then.
Right.
That email I'm sending to the mayor or the mayor's assistant is not gonna be the email I'm gonna send to the rapper or the street dude that don't even got an email.
Slight flex. Yeah. You know, when I send a letter to the mayor, you know.
I'm being honest.
You know, when I'm linking up with all of the biggest artists in the city, you know what I mean?
You gotta switch it up.
They don't know who Ogun is, you know what I mean?
But nah, I think just treating everybody as individuals with respect, I think that'll get you a long way. And I'm just not a dummy. Like I'm not going to get involved with something that I don't know about. Right. And if it's something that I don't know, I'm going to be honest about that. And then give me a minute. I'll try to figure it out.
That's a fact.
I think people will respect that.
Okay, cool. All right. Predictions. Who's the next to pop out of Baltimore? Come on, don't duck this question, please. Don't. Come on, yo. Give me a real answer.
Pop?
Yeah.
What pop mean?
Pop mean they gonna go. They gonna do 1 million streams. They gonna
like go.
Yeah.
I don't think I know. I actually don't think I know.
You feel like you transitioned out of it to where you're not even in the space no more?
I definitely have transitioned out of like tracking like who's the hottest. It was a time where that wasn't like I just wanted my hand.
You just had to stay on the pulse of everything.
Like real talk. So yeah, I think I have kind of transitioned a little bit off of like who's the hottest in the city. My real focus is nonprofit and Beats Not Bullets to be very, very honest.
Okay.
But I'm still connected to
so I can flip this to help you. So who in the political space has been the most helpful to you, and who do you think we should vote for as far as mayor that could be the most helpful to you?
Yeah, I'm not going to tell anybody who to vote for mayor. But Councilman Stokes has been very helpful to me. And then she used to be the mayor's assistant, but the mayor got locked up.
Gotcha.
But her name is Allie, and she is dope, bro. Mm-hmm. Like, she assists people on levels where it's just like, damn, you're first of all, you're a good person, but more importantly, like, you really care. You're
a great community servant.
Yeah, for sure.
Got you.
Hands down.
Got you.
Hands down.
So
as far as mayor, I will say this.
Ogun for mayor 2023?
Yo, when I went to one of these forums, I looked and thought that I could have been sitting there and I would have kept up with everybody on that stage.
So
period.
We saying Ogun 2023?
No, we're not. But what I am saying is, I will say Stokey has an approach that should be researched more, just to make sure like what the plan is. The dude Brandon is probably the sharpest, ready to go. TJ Smith is sharp, like real sharp, but I don't think he has the background that Brandon has. Mm-hmm. The current mayor, I mean, I'm not really a fan. Sheila Dixon, she might win by mistake.
Brand recognition.
Yeah.
That's it.
Right. Like, older people know her name, it's safe.
What don't you like about the guy Young that's in office now? Well, I'm not saying
I don't like him. I'm just saying I don't like his demeanor is kind of off to me. Like, and he always said he wasn't going to run, so automatically that got weird when he decided to run. But then when I see him speak, I'll see the news ask him certain questions, and his demeanor just be like, bro, like, why are you talking to them like that? I've seen him in forums, and his demeanor is like, it's almost like sassy. You know what I mean? Like, there's a difference between like a dude shitting on somebody. Like, no, for real, it have like a little sass in it. I don't like that.
Yo, the man is Sass McGass, yo.
I don't like the sass, yo.
What I need you to do, Ogun, I need you to get yourself together and get ready to run for mayor, bro. Yeah, okay. I feel like you got it in you. And the thing is, you have the genuine love for the city that you could do great things. You know what I'm saying? And you'll have a coalition of the willing all over the place.
I think I could. I mean, the idea, it's like, yeah, that would be great. I don't even, the branches of government. How does a bill become a whatever?
Let me send you the video. Wait a minute, I already sent you that video. Right. You didn't watch the video?
Right, I forgot.
Yeah, you can't run for mayor, nigga. You can't sit there. It's a 2-minute video.
Exactly. You trusting policy in my hands.
You can't give Ogun a launch.
Like, what do you think about the such and such? What do you think about the such and such? That's the kind of mayor I would be. Man, what do you feel about the gun control policy of Annapolis? What do you feel about the gun control policy in Atlanta?
Well, the mayor of Baltimore don't have to worry about Annapolis, so like you ain't got to worry about that part. See, the only thing you got to worry about is Baltimore City.
Exactly. See, I'm messing up already.
Oh my God! All right, have we covered your entire life, professional life?
I feel like we pretty solid.
I don't know, man. I feel like there's gaping holes in the storyline and stuff that we ain't talked about, which I'm mad about. You know what I mean? You know, there's stuff that I can't talk about that I want to talk about, but it is what it is, bro. Like I really wish we could get more into DBMG, but you know what I'm saying? That's
we
life.
talked about that probably the most.
Nah, we just talked about Damond Blue. There's more to DBMG than Damond Blue, but we can't get into that. But I honestly feel like you guys, I'm proud of y'all because y'all made me right. Because I said the moment an organization settles down with the proper funding and some people that are serious and intelligent, you're going to see a huge change in the city. And I was saying that for years, and people kept saying, no. Yo, we need to have like, Universal Music Group need to come to Baltimore. Like, no, you can't get a bunch of New York and LA niggas to come to Baltimore and understand us. That's not going to happen. Right. If they were to come into our city, they're going to try to run us through their system with their sensibilities without understanding our culture. True. So for us to be given the funding so that we could cultivate our talent in our way, I think you guys did a phenomenal job. So what you guys haven't sold 10 million units and ain't on fucking, you've taken a whole group of young men and have changed their lives forever and have subsequently changed all of the children's lives that are growing up in this generation, because now they have artists to look up to and be fans of. True. Whereas you and I didn't have that.
Agreed. I totally agree with that.
You and I did not have that shit. I mean, I have a few artists, but like, you know, it's not as many as now.
Right.
So like, I think DBMG has forever changed the landscape, and you play a major part in that, yo. You should be very proud. You know, and I'm proud of you guys. I'm very proud. I always brag about the Illuminati. You know what I'm saying? You guys do a phenomenal job over there. You know what I mean?
He's stupid.
But you know, how many ghosts did you have to sacrifice?
How many ghosts
to get in? You know what I'm saying? Did Mike McIntosh make you kill your cousin to get in? Yeah, I don't know. I don't know what happens. I don't know the way to get into the game.
The way.
Yeah. So how do I apply if I want to join the Illuminati? So do I need to kick my cousin out the window? Like, you know what I'm saying? I don't know. Anyway, well, I appreciate your time.
I appreciate you.
Do you
bro.
even have social media for people to follow you? So
I do. They can. I would love for them to follow Beat Snap Bullets.
There you go.
Beat Snap Bullets. I'm selling me on Instagram, but it's at Be More Hero. And then my name on Facebook is Ogun, Ogun. Gordy, which is not my last name. I just thought it was funny when they started making you have to change your name.
Facts.
Just testing stuff like, let's see if Gordy sticks.
And
you know Barry Gordy.
Right.
Playing off of that or whatever. But yeah, Beat Snap Bullets. Follow Beat Snap Bullets at Beat Snap Bullets. Please.
And it says you're taking donations right now. What is your goal financially?
I guess a lot of people need to realize like programs just don't run themselves. So even if like Douglas Homes, if they kind of pay for a certain amount of programming, they still got to eat. They still want food and chips and, you know what I mean, sodas and juice, right? So those little things, they just kind of add up. So it really comes down to no donation is too small, because that you send $20, that might be the day that the student was running late and they needed a lift. So we can just send them a lift off that $20. So it really works just on a spontaneous basis as far as the needs to come up. So it's not like a financial goal. We're going to always fundraise.
Well, there you go, people. You just sat down with Ogun. I will definitely make sure that he never says that ever again. We will come up with a financial goal so that way we can actually reach it instead of just randomly because that's just not how black people operate. That's
what not. Do you mean? I need $20.
Huh?
You gonna send it tomorrow?
Got you.
Okay.
All right. Now, after that, I want to know what the goal is. You know what I mean? Because if I could have gave 100, if I knew the goal was this and I knew we was gonna get that. Like right now, I'm doing a fundraising. I'm trying to raise $5,000. We had $300 right now. So I know, you know, when people say, "Well, is you there yet?" Nigga, no.
Right. I understand what you're saying. I'm saying this is long term though. Like if I was to say, "Yo, the summer program we need," yeah, that's different. But this doesn't stop. Like we have different programs going on at one time. So
right. So all of them need budgets. So you accumulate the cost for all of the budgets plus ancillary costs. You should always have a slush fund just in case, bro. Everything can be summed up in a
mean, you're totally right. My point is we're always fundraising. So I don't want you to think, yeah, we need 5,000, and you see that we got the 5,000. Oh, they're good now. No, we're not.
Yeah, until next year. Same way as NPR. We raised our $5,000. You can become a golden diamond member, and we'll send you a lovely Beat Snap Bullets mug. Like that's what I want. I want you to do a fundraiser, and I'm like, all right, cool. If I pick the $50 option, I can get the sweatshirt, and if I throw another 20, I can get the mug too. Like, yo, let me be a part of that. I feel like that's a dope thing. You know what I mean?
Well,
but
as long as you did commit for $20, that's all.
I got you.
Camera.
$20.
You gonna edit that?
Yes, sir. I don't know what you talking about, Ogun. I ain't saying nothing about no money. But anyway, yo, we appreciate you and your time and your contributions to the world. Well, you know what I'm saying? Like people gonna kill me because they're like, you ain't talk about this with Ogun. Why you ain't say that? You won't say this and that and all that. But anyway, everybody that's out here documenting the history, man, please keep doing it, bro. Like I'm not trying to be here to judge or change nobody's path or whatever. Like, yo, at the end of the day, history is history. True. And as long as you are giving people their flowers while they living, bro, I think that's the most important part in the world. So you keep hustling, keep doing your thing. Don't forget to follow Beat Snap Bullets. Don't forget to donate today. Don't forget to follow Aries Lounge at Aries Lounge and at JS1 Tha Supplier. We'll check you next time. We love y'all. Peace.